Students, our today's class is very much important in our daily life. It is physiological process, if I say in human body, also in any other animals, any other plants. So it is physiological process. It is very much important process, and the process that is excretory system that I will explain today. So our today's class is about excretory system. Now, what do you mean by excretion and what do you mean by the system, that is excretory system? Excretion means just removal of unwanted or metabolic waste substances from our body. If I say in human body means from our body, that is excretion. So removal of unwanted metabolic harmful substances from our body, these are, it is known as the process known as excretion. And excretory system means, system formed by the perform of few organs. So here also few organs they are performing and they are producing a system, that is excretory system. So I am talking about the organ which helps in our excretion, means in human body the excretory organ, that is kidney. So only kidney responsible for the excretion? No. Kidney is our excretory organ. Except kidney, there are also accessory excretory organs in our body. So number one, in our human body, excretory organ, kidney. Accessory excretory organ, these are lungs, liver, our sweat gland, means in our skin. These are accessory excretory organ. Just like lungs helps to excrete carbon dioxide from our body, because if carbon dioxide accumulate in our body, so ultimate death. So it is also harmful substance, so we need to remove it from our body. Lungs helps to remove carbon dioxide. So it is acting just like accessory excretory organ in our body. Similarly, liver in our body, liver is present and liver helps to excrete bile product from our body, bilirubin, biliverdin. So liver helps to excrete bile product from our body. Similarly, in our body, excretory product, main excretory product, that is urea. In human body, main excretory product, that is urea. So liver helps to convert urea, means from ammonia to urea. Liver helps to produce urea, and that urea excreted out by the help of kidney. So liver acting just like excretory organ. Similarly, with the help of our skin or sweat glands, excess amount of salts, water excreted out. So these are accessory excretory organ. So I will draw here first the excretory structure in human body. So our excretory organ, two kidneys are there. Our excretory product, urea. In case of birds, their excretory product, uric acid. In case of fishes, their excretory product, ammonia. In case of human body, our excretory product, urea. So I am drawing here the structure of our excretory system. So two kidneys are there. So this is the structure of our excretory system. So look at the structure here. I have drawn here the structure of our excretory system. So two kidneys are present, and see there are two kidneys, and whenever it is, if you say that it is left kidney, it is right kidney, so the right kidney slightly lower than left kidney. So due to the structure of our diaphragm, so the left kidney that is slightly higher than right kidney. And in the top of our kidney, our adrenal glands are present. In our class means excretory system. In endocrine system, I told you the location of our adrenal gland. Similarly, these are located in the top of our kidney here. So these are adrenal gland, and from here to in artery and vein are present. So these are also connected here. So artery and vein are, these are present. So you can say renal vein, renal artery, these are also here present. So I will discuss here the structure of our kidney. Now where is the location of our kidney? It is located either side of our backbone and it is protected by our last two vertebra. So you know about vertebra, so thoracic, lumbar. So the last two vertebra helps to protect our kidney. It is located in the either side of our backbone. Now, kidney helps as our excretory organ. Similarly, from here, these are kidneys. From here, the duct coming out from kidney and along with it is connected with our urinary bladder. The duct present here, it is known as the duct that is connecting urea and urinary bladder. It is known as ureter. So it is ureter and therefore urinary bladder. And the portion which is present here, it is known as urethra. So kidney, therefore ureter, the duct, these are present here, these are ureter and therefore urinary bladder and therefore urethra. And in urethra, sphincter muscles are present which helps to excrete urine from here. The activity of muscle that helps to excrete urine from urethra. So it is the structure of our excretory system. So now the function of kidney, it helps in our excretion, it helps to filter excreted products from blood. It is a function of our kidney. Ureter, it helps to transport excretory product from kidney to urinary bladder. Function of urinary bladder, temporarily it store urine. So temporarily it store urine here and urethra helps to pass out or helps to remove excretory products or urine from our body. Now I will show you the cross section of our kidney. If you take, it is bean shaped structure, kidney bean shaped structure, and according to length you can say 10 centimeter long and 6 centimeter wide. That is the length of kidney. So these are the structure, bean shaped structure present. So if I show you the cross section of our kidney, it looks like that. It is the cross section of our kidney. Look at the structure here. It is a cross section of our kidney. Here it is known as cortex and it is known as medulla. So the outer portion means the outer covering of our kidney, that is cortex, and the inner portion of our kidney, that is medulla. Also in adrenal gland, I also told you cortex and medulla. So similarly here the outer portion of our kidney, cortex, inner portion, that is medulla. And the location from here, the ureter coming out, that is known as hilum, means the attachment. It is known as hilum. And therefore it is known as pelvis, the structure which is present here in the ureter, that is pelvis. So cortex, medulla, hilum and pelvis, these are the structure if I see the cross section of our kidney. Now in our kidney, millions of structural and functional unit, that is nephron, these are present in our kidney, and especially nephron helps in our excretion. So in our kidneys, the structural and functional unit, these are present, that is nephron. So I will draw here the structure of nephron, and therefore I will show you the steps of urine formation in our human body. The structure of here is the I'm drawing. Here is the structure of nephron. It is the structural and functional unit. So it is the structure of our nephron. Here also afferent and efferent arterioles are present. Okay, now look at the structure here. So I have drawn the structure of nephron. Now I will show you what is the function of it and how nephron helps to produce urine in human body. So look at the structure here. It is the structure of nephron. Now, first of all, here it is known as afferent and it is known as efferent. So, two arteries are present. One is not the artery, actually blood vessels. One is afferent, other one is efferent. And afferent slightly thicker than efferent. Why? That I will explain. And therefore, here the structure that is present, it is known as glomerulus. It is a structure known as glomerulus. And therefore, the cup-shaped structure, which I have drawn here by black color, it is known as Bowman capsule. So, both the structure present here, one is glomerulus, other one is Bowman capsule. So, both the structure glomerulus and Bowman capsule responsible for to produce urine. And one more thing, that is in glomerulus and Bowman capsule together known as Malpighian capsule. So you can say also it is Malpighian capsule. So that is glomerulus, the coil-like structure present here, and therefore the cup-shaped structure present here, that is Bowman capsule. So both glomerulus and Bowman capsule together known as Malpighian capsule. After Bowman capsule, there is a structure, it is known as PCT. PCT means proximal convoluted tubules, and therefore the U-shaped structure in the nephron present here, it is known as loop of Henle. And therefore the structure after loop of Henle present here known as DCT, distal convoluted tubules. And therefore the structure which is present here, that is collecting duct. So students, so it is a total diagram of our structural and functional unit of kidney, that is nephron. So that is the structure of our nephron, so which I have drawn here. So it is very much important to see the structure of nephron, that is I am also showing you. That is the structure of our nephron. Here the afferent slightly thicker than efferent. Okay. So now I will tell you what are the steps to form urine and the steps and their function. First of all, step number 1, that is ultrafiltration. Step number 2, reabsorption. Step number 3, tubular secretion. So I am starting step number 1, that is ultrafiltration. What will occur? You know, in our blood plasma is present. Plasma means in our blood 55% approx plasma is present. So plasma is the liquid part of our blood, and in when from here plasma will come. So in the with the help of afferent, here I am showing you by red marker here, plasma will enter by afferent. So plasma will enter by afferent, and within the plasma the liquid part of blood along with urea, any other nitrogenous metabolic waste in our human body, glucose, some salts, these are present in plasma. Now that's why afferent slightly thicker, and from here glomerulus will filter. Glomerulus will filter. How? From here the total entire part of our blood plasma, especially glucose, any other salts, urea, any other nitrogenous waste, so the liquid part mainly it will absorb by glomerulus, and the remaining portion which will not absorb by glomerulus, it will pass by efferent. That's why afferent slightly thicker, because it will carry blood plasma along with glucose, excess amount of salts, nitrogenous waste. So that's why it is slightly thicker, and therefore glucose will glomerulus will absorb the products which are especially the plasma in our from our blood, and therefore mainly plasma means from mainly nitrogenous waste and urea, glucose, that will absorb from plasma, glomerulus, and therefore the remaining part of the plasma it will come out by efferent. That's why efferent is slightly thicker. Slightly thinner. Why? Because afferent will carry so many products, but efferent will carry only the blood plasma, except glucose, urea, any other nitrogenous waste. That's why. Now glomerulus will absorb it, and therefore glomerulus will pass it into Bowman capsule. The absorbed product by the glomerulus by the nephron, it is known as glomerular filtrate. So the glomerular filtrate will come out into Bowman capsule, and therefore it will come into PCT. Now the glomerular filtrate come out into the PCT. The process by which glomerulus will absorb the nitrogenous waste and any other substances, some essential substances just like glucose, salts. So the process, that is ultrafiltration. So step number 1 I told you, that is ultrafiltration. Step number 2, PCT. Now glucose, any other salts, these are also essential products from our body. So by mistake glomerulus has absorbed it. So in reabsorption stage, PCT will help to pass the essential substances just like glucose, excess amount of water, as well as some salts. It will also send back to our body by PCT. So how it will send back? The efferent part, if I draw the extension of our efferent part, so it will come here, it will come here. I am showing you by red marker. Here the efferent part means it is the extension part of our efferent. If I draw here, it is going along with the DCT collecting duct. So from PCT it will send back. Okay, so it is known as selective absorption. It will send back into the blood vessels, and therefore it will come into our body again. So that's why the state it is known as reabsorption. In the reabsorption stage, also with the help of loop of Henle. What is the function of loop of Henle? Loop of Henle helps to determine amount of water, or if the excessive amount of water is present, so it helps to absorb that water. So that is the function of loop of Henle. And therefore, what is the function of DCT? DCT helps to send here potassium, iron, as well as any other foreign chemicals just like drugs, penicillin, if any person take. So these are also the it will produce also excretory product. So DCT will absorb it, and DCT will send it into the collecting duct. So that is known as tubular secretion. So ultrafiltration in glomerulus, in PCT and loop of Henle, reabsorption, and therefore after DCT in collecting duct there will be tubular secretion. So these are three steps present. So step number one, glomerulus will absorb glucose, any other substances. Similarly, PCT will reabsorb it, means the urine essential nitrogenous waste only remain in here, and the essential products which absorbed by glomerulus, it will send back here, and the loop of Henry determine the amount of water vapor as so that is the three steps by which urine will form. And in tubular secretion, when the ultimately the urine will form, it will come into pelvis. I draw in the cross section of kidney, so it will come into pelvis, and with the help of urinary bladder it will come into urinary with the help of ureter it will come into urinary bladder. So these are three steps regarding urine formation. Now I will tell you that there are also few terms just like osmoregulation. What do you mean by osmoregulation? Osmoregulation means the amount of water which will pass by the urine, that will determined by our kidney. If the excessive amount of water pass from our body, so it will be harmful to our body. So the amount of water that will pass from our body determined by our kidney, that is known as osmoregulation. What will be the water concentration determined by our kidney, that is osmoregulation. Artificial kidney dialysis means some person suffer kidney problem. So if any person suffer by kidney problem, so if both kidneys are affected, so how from their body excreted product will come out. With the help of artificial machine, we can easily excrete it out from our body. That is known as dialysis. In our NRS or any other, I think in PG also dialysis center are present. So it helps in dialysis. Artificial kidney also you can say. Next, I will tell you few diseases. All of you know about kidney stone. How kidney stone will be affected? If any person will take less amount of water, then the urea will be precipitate in their kidney as well as uterine wall. So, urea will be precipitate in their kidney as well as in urinary bladder. So that's why the disease kidney stone will form. Similarly, I will tell you hematuria. Sometimes also blood come out along with the kidney. So it is also hematuria due to the damage of any other parts of our internal parts of our kidney, or urinary bladder or ureter. Another disease, that is glycosuria, when excessive amount of glucose come out along with our along with our urine, that is glycosuria. One more important, that is already I told you in my endocrine system class, ADH, antidiuretic hormone secreted from posterior pituitary. It helps to determine the amount of water concentration in our urine. If the ADH is absent in our urine, so what will occur? So the urine, in our urine, water level will be very high. So excess amount of water excreted out from our body, ADH will not determine. This kind of disease, that is known as diabetes insipidus. Already you know it. So if ADH is not responsible, is not releasing in proper way, so ultimately excessive amount of water will be determined. Water will not determine, so excessive amount of water will remove from our body, because ADH helps to determine what will be the amount of water. That's why it will be the disease, that is diabetes insipidus. So that is the class regarding excretory system. Thank you very much.